Hello, everyone, and here we have a new story. Before we get to that, I want to ask you to subscribe, like, and be sure to write comments in order to participate in the development of the community. Write how to improve my community, current topics in the stories you are interested in, and much more. I read and listen to all the comments. People write me stories by mail from different countries. There are problems with translation. I apologize for this. I will work on it and try to fix these errors. I want to thank everyone for their support and the people who wrote to me by mail, broadcast news stories. New videos on my channel are published once every 2 days at 7 p.m. Don't forget to put a bell in order not to miss new videos. And now let's go. Hello, I want to tell you my story. My story is very banal. My wife cheated on me for a year with a massage therapist at a fitness club. We have been together for 18 years, of which we have been married for 9 years. We have a wonderful daughter. She's 7 years old. Last summer, my wife wanted to go for a massage. She asked me for money and I didn't hesitate to give her what she needed. I myself was the initiator for my wife to go in for sports and lose weight. I bought her a fitness subscription. I liked that my wife was attracted to sports. I wanted my wife to have another baby after she lost weight. In general, in the fitness room, she agreed with the massage therapist that he would work at our house, because it turned out to be twice as cheap. I agreed because I trusted my wife 100%, and she didn't give any reason to be jealous. From my point of view, a massage therapist is a parody of a man. Twice divorced 45-year-old immigrant. He had no proper job, no money, no place to live. The first time I noticed that something was wrong was in April last year. At that moment, my wife started hiding her mobile phone from me. But as a horned deer, I thought she needed companionship because she didn't have many friends. About a month later, she said that the massage therapist was crazy about her. We laughed together and forgot about him. After a while, I noticed that my wife corresponded with him very actively. I took her mobile phone when my wife went to take a shower. I saw that the dialogue goes beyond the communication between the massage therapist and the client. I had a serious conversation with my wife and showed her the correspondence. She swore to me by the health of our child that they had nothing and could not have. But since the massage was paid for before the end of the month, my wife asked me to finish the sessions already. Of course, I was against this idea, but out of greed, I agreed. After a while, my wife started going for a massage at 6 a.m. She didn't work in the summer and stayed at home. I left for work at 10 a.m. She told me every time what kind of massage they gave her. Towards autumn, I began to notice changes in my wife's behavior. We have problems in our intimate life. When we had sex, I felt cold from my wife. I became jealous and insisted that my wife stop all contact with the massage therapist. But she always replied that I had silly fantasies. I worked overtime and was very little at home. We were flying to Florida in the fall, and there I saw how often my wife corresponded with a massage therapist. I was furious and made scandals. I demanded that my wife explain what was going on. In response, she told me that I was paranoid. We had sex, but not as hot as before. But in Florida, for the first time, I lost my temper and started to fight with other vacationers. Now I realized that I'm guilty and I just wanted to vent my anger. I tried not to drink alcohol and kept telling myself that this was my fantasy and stupidity. When I returned home, I immersed myself in my work again. I also noticed strange things in my wife's behavior. She went for a massage and took our daughter with her. I got angry and forbade it, but my wife didn't give a damn about me. My wife began to choose the days when I was in a good mood. These days, she asked me for permission to go for a massage. I thought it was okay and let her go. By the new year, everything was completely bad. We haven't had sex in a month. Initially, she said she wasn't feeling well. Later, she had red days. I knew that something was wrong. My wife said that she had red days for 3 weeks. I looked on the internet and realized that this is not possible. My wife tried to meet with the massage therapist by any means. Every time my daughter told me where they were or that mom was texting with the massage therapist again, I couldn't find a place for myself. I kept asking my wife, why can't she give up this communication? I was just a blind fool. I bought my wife a lot of things. I wanted her to feel happy and wear beautiful outfits, to somehow diversify your life. Just before the new year, a nightmare began. One day, she invited her parents and mine to visit. She started telling them that we were having problems in our relationship, that we don't have sex, and so on. She said I was crazy. I was constantly jealous and needed to be treated. In general, I disgraced myself in front of everyone in full. During another scandal that played out in front of everyone, I told my wife that I doubted her loyalty. But everyone ignored me. At night, I got up to go to the toilet and saw a message from the massage therapist on my wife's mobile phone. I quote, "When your husband falls asleep, write to me, I will come and we will have a nice time." It was like being used with boiling water. I just couldn't believe it. I waited until morning and told my wife that I no longer wanted to see a massage therapist in our lives. My wife denied everything. She wrote to the massage therapist that she needed to stop communicating, but she asked me for permission to visit him one last time so he could say goodbye to my daughter. Because they were friends and he treated my daughter well. I lost my temper at such a request. I yelled at my wife and said I didn't care. I was surprised that my wife was so gentle with a stranger. On New Year's holidays, we went on vacation to the mountains, and there, under my pressure, my wife confessed that she had been cheating on me for 6 months. I was shocked and couldn't believe it. I immediately cut off contact with her lover. I decided that I needed to save my family because of my daughter. After returning home, I took a vacation at my own expense and took my family to the islands. I needed to calm down and get my thoughts in order. We talked about it a lot. As it turned out, my wife got pregnant by her lover and had an abortion. She said she had sex with him because she loved him. That's why they didn't use protection when they had sex. I've been deeply depressed for 6 months. But I looked at my daughter and it gave me strength. I also read books to distract myself. I thought that everything could be overcome. Upon my return from the islands, I forced my wife to take tests. As a result, she was suspected of having HIV. She was restless for 2 weeks and had repeated tests. I was afraid that she might infect me or my daughter. Thank God repeated tests showed that everything was fine. The relationship between us was complicated. I often blamed her. I couldn't figure out what my wife was missing. The most annoying thing was that she didn't feel guilty. She cheated on me with a massage therapist for love. In another scandal, she said she had no regrets. That day, I smashed the mirror with my fist and cut my hand badly. After a while, I caught my wife correspondence with her lover again. We had a big scandal again. I demanded that she stop all contact, but my wife didn't care. She wrote to him that she would not leave the family and so on. He insisted that she should go to him. In general, the lover turned out to be a crazy person. My wife corresponded with him every day. My wife said that it helps her to relieve stress after an abortion. I understand that she is depressed, but why is she solving this problem with his help? We don't have sex because she said I don't turn her on and she doesn't want me. She only respects me as a person. She suggested that I take a mistress. She let me have sex with other girls. At that moment, I realized that our family was over. As a result, I filed for divorce. I still console myself with the fact that I tried to do everything so that my daughter would grow up in a full-fledged family. But I couldn't do it. I live alone and visit my daughter on weekends. I love her very much and I hope she understands everything. My wife was hospitalized with a sexually transmitted disease. To be honest, I'm not surprised that it had to happen sooner or later. I've hired a good lawyer. I want to take my daughter for myself. My wife is in a very serious condition. Most likely, this is karma and punishment. And I'm starting a new life. If you like the story, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Now let's move on to the opinion of the author of the channel. The opinion of the author of the channel. According to tradition, I want to wish strength and patience to our hero. You made mistakes when you forgave your wife for betrayal. You even rewarded her for it and took her on vacation to the islands. This shouldn't have been done. Take your daughter and live happily ever after. God forbid your daughter catches a serious illness from her mother. You made the right choice and don't blame yourself for anything. I'm also shocked by girls who swear by the health of their children. The Almighty saw your suffering and punished your wife. I think she'll regret her actions. No, she's already regretted everything. Take my word for it. Don't look back at the past, move forward. Good luck to everyone. If you have watched to the end, I want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. I appreciate your support and encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this story. Your participation and feedback are invaluable for shaping our content and promoting mutual understanding and community growth. Until we meet again.